I want these eggs out of me and in a freezer ASAP because they're driving me up the wall. Their eviction notice is being served.
I'm 25 and I had to freeze my eggs. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease when I was 9 years old. Crohn's disease is basically an inflammatory bowel disease that affects the digestive system and causes the immune system to attack the digestive system anywhere between the mouth and the bum. My Crohn's symptoms usually include pretty severe mouth ulcers and cuts down the side of my mouth that are deep and painful, make it really difficult to talk, severe abdominal pain, fatigue, diarrhea. When I was diagnosed, I was put on a bunch of different medications and it got to the point where my body no longer responded to any of the conventional treatments available here in Australia, which meant that my only option was to undergo a stem cell/bone marrow transplant to help prolong my life. So basically, an autologous stem cell transplant is where your own stem cells are removed from your body, and then you undergo a conditioning process where your bone marrow is basically destroyed so that you are ready to receive your own cells back. And it acts as a complete reset to the immune system, basically in hope that when the immune system regenerates and regrows itself, it doesn't regrow with that urge to attack the digestive system. To receive my stem cell/bone marrow transplant, I had to receive a number of rounds of chemotherapy to reduce my bone marrow to zero, essentially. And because of the intensity of the chemotherapy, unfortunately, I am likely to be infertile. Finding out about my fertility was pretty scary at first. It was recommended that I freeze my eggs to preserve my fertility in hopes that I may be able to have children one day through IVF. Freezing your eggs or losing your fertility is a pretty big decision to make at such a young age. In vitro fertilization, aka IVF, is an assisted reproductive process. In my case, IVF was used for me to preserve my fertility through egg collection. Freezing my eggs involved a couple of weeks of injecting hormones into my abdomen, which encouraged my body to mature an abnormal number of eggs so that I could then undergo egg retrieval, which was done under anaesthetic, and have the eggs frozen in hopes of perhaps using them one day to have a baby. The most challenging part of undergoing IVF was basically just how invasive the whole process is. A lot of mood swings because the dose of hormones that I was injecting myself with each night were pretty high. I also had a lot of bloating and it felt like my abdomen was really, really full. I also experienced a great deal of hormonal acne.
Maybe everyone gets these side effects and I'm just being a drama queen.
I then had my stem cell transplant on May the 10th, 2023. I decided to share my IVF journey because when I turned to the internet to find other people's experiences with IVF, there wasn't a lot of information out there from people my age, and I thought that by sharing my experience, it might help other women who are about to undergo IVF and perhaps make them feel a little less lonely. If you're considering freezing your eggs, make sure that you have a really good support system around you because you're going to need it.